Five bizarre and fascinating medical tales. Number 5. Woman with two sets of DNA. When Karen Keegan, a Boston teacher, needed a kidney transplant, her 3 sons were tested if they are acceptable donors. Soon the tests revealed that 2 of Keegan's sons did not match Keegan's genetic profile. Further tests showed that Keegan has chimerism, a condition where 2 fraternal twins grow in the womb. But the first twin absorbs the other twin, making the resulting embryo contain 2 different sets of DNA, oftentimes in different parts of the body. To prove that Keegan is indeed the boy's mother, doctors began tracking the second DNA set in her body, and found it in her thyroid gland. Number 4. Pencil in her head. Margaret Wegener, after suffering numerous headaches and nosebleeds for 55 years, finally underwent surgery on August 2007. What was the surgery for? To remove a 3-inch pencil that was lodged in Wegener's head after a childhood accident when she was 4. Due to lack of technology and fear of irreversibly damaging Wegener's head, doctors delayed the removal of the pencil for more than 5 decades until the doctors found the exact location of the pencil in her head and safely took most of it out. This was something unique because the trauma was so old, said Dr. Hans Beerbaum, an ear, nose and throat specialist at Berlin's Park Clinic, who pinpointed the location of the pencil. She shouldn't suffer any longer, he said. Number 3. Impaled with a faucet. Yi Zhao, from Chongqing, China, was rushed into the emergency room after accidentally impaling his eye socket with a bathroom faucet after firefighters cut off the pipes. At the hospital, the faucet made it impossible to perform a CT scan, so a plumber was called to remove a foot of pipe jutting out of his eye, but when it didn't work, an impatient Zhao decided to remove the faucet himself, with the doctor's guidance. Miraculously, there was little damage to the eye, and no damage to the brain, only fractures to the facial bones. Number 2. Heart recipient. William Sheridan of New York was just recovering from a heart transplant when he inexplicably developed a passion for art, and started making beautiful sketches. He found out later that his organ donor was an artist. This odd phenomenon, called cellular memory, is the theory that the brain is not the only part of the body that contains memory and human traits, and that other organs such as the heart and hands, can contain them too. Several studies have focused on this phenomenon, a notable one being Dr. Paul Pezzal's study entitled Changes in Heart Transplant Recipients that Parallel the Personalities of Their Donor, which was published in Near-Death Studies magazine in 2002. Number 1. The Miracle Walker. Mark Chenoweth gets the top spot of this list for his amazing story. Chenoweth, who has spent the past 10 years in a wheelchair, was born with spina bifida, a crippling disease that left him unable to walk. In 1998, he consulted his doctor about taking scuba diving lessons, which the doctor immediately forbade. Against his doctor's orders, he took a holiday to Menorca and managed to persuade a diving center to give him scuba lessons. Diving to a depth of 55 feet, after he surfaced, he found out that he can walk again. 3 days later, his legs lost sensation once more, so he immediately went back to scuba diving. After a while, he noticed that the deeper he gets, the longer the time he can walk after. Due to this, Chenoweth now uses his wheelchair only twice a year. It is not exactly known why this happened, but one theory suggests that the rich mix of oxygen in the aqualungs divers used affected the nerve cells afflicted by the spina bifida, making them temporarily work.